proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
And just before you start, I know Delegate O'Donnell has several questions for you. So I just want to let you know that before you proceed.
I understand I've been invited to a personal subcommittee afterward.
That is correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and members of the committee. May I say I'm really impressed with the deliberate speed this committee moves, and I'm learning in the Judiciary Committee. I think we've just begun hearing our second bill today. So, well, now, in appreciation for the deliberate speed, I will attempt to be brief. There, in addition to the traffic safety benefits that Delegate Wilson has covered, there are myriad public health safety benefits, many of which are detailed in the written testimony you'll have before you. Let me just highlight a couple of them, the data, to help you get a picture. If passed, HB 564 could prevent an approximately about 30 vehicle deaths and 750 injuries in Maryland beginning next year. In 2009, there were 189 vehicle occupants who died in crashes. At least 66% of them were not using their seat belts. We know that, well, we'll get to this in a moment, but one of the more gruesome ways that vehicle occupants die that is preventable is ejection from the vehicle. We do know that 1% of vehicle occupants who are wearing their seatbelts are ejected, as opposed to 30% who are not wearing their seatbelts. So 1%, 30%. We know that 77% of those who are ejected from vehicles die. Now, unbelted crash survivors cost more to treat than belted survivors, as you can imagine. You think of the damage that the unbelted passenger causes almost as a projectile in one of those scenarios. Now, the treatment costs are 55% higher for unbelted survivors than for belted survivors. Last point I will make is the economic effect of this bill. Without regard to the very positive fiscal note in front of you, HB 564 could save Maryland taxpayers an estimated $100 million each year. The lives lost and the injuries sustained result in economic costs. We're talking medical treatment and productivity costs. We know that 9% of these costs, economic costs resulting from crashes, are borne by public sources, that is, our state government and resources. Now, that number, 100 million, assumes perfect compliance. We probably won't have that, and certainly not for a while, but even a fraction of that savings, a fraction of 100 million, is not insignificant. Members of the committee, this is such an easy way to save lives. I believe that we owe it to all Maryland parents to pass an all-passengers seatbelt bill. Thank you very much, members of the committee. Mr. Chair.